The good, the bad, and ugly for the Houston Texans. We're gonna run through it. We're gonna talk about what went good and bad with the offense, with the defense, with the coaching, with the special teams. We're gonna really dive in because it's been a very disappointing season. We all know this team was not going to be good, but at the rate that they have played this year, this might be the worst Texans team we've ever seen. These guys could potentially not win a game no more. That's how real it is for the Houston Texans. That 2-14 team that we have that we had almost 10 years ago. Most of the guys were injured. Shop had that pick six, where he just threw one every single down. It seemed. And let's just go ahead and go into it, and let's start, with the GM, Nick Caserio. How are we gonna rate him and grade him so far? I think we could grade him. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a C plus, C minus. I'm sorry, a high C plus. And here's why I say that, the Houston Texans are not a winning football team. He brought in a lot of veterans, to try to make this team successful, right? Philip Lindsay hasn't worked out. Mark Ingram was traded. Andre Roberts was, I think, let go. Anthony Miller was cut. Rex Burkhead hasn't done nothing. Marcus Cannon is on injured reserve. Lane Taylor hasn't even, played down. So you kind of see what he had to go through in the offseason. He inherited the mess of Bill O'Brien. Why I give him a C plus is because he did something different. He signed as many free agents as he human possibly could. I think in the offseason he had the mentality that I could convince Deshaun Watson to stay here. And maybe that's why we saw a lot of these 1 year moves. When all these moves happened, we were very excited. We were saying these are the type of moves that you show Deshaun Watson. Hey, we're gonna win. We're gonna try to be a competitive football team. He ended up still wanting to be traded. We don't have that. We have Tyrod Taylor. This whole team looked damn good for 6 quarters, and then Tyrod Taylor goes on, and it's been a slippery slope ever since. But with the knowledge and the knowing that Deshaun Watson is going to give us a hell of a haul in the offseason. I'm gonna go ahead and get Nick Caserio a C plus. I do like the draft class, right? I like Nico Collins. I do like rookie Roy Lopez. I think for as much shit as we give Davis Mills, he hasn't played that bad for a third round pick for a rookie. These are the type of reps he's going to get. So I'm gonna go hey C plus here. The head coaching, it's an F, and you know yeah, it's an F. You're 1-8 football team. At the beginning, we've known all along that David Culley is not the future for this team. And every week he just continues to show why he was never a head coach. No hate on the guy. I like him. He's the type of guy that you want to, talk to, the type of guy that's, has the whole crowd laughing at the barbecue. He's a great guy. The team loves him. The city, respects him. But being a likable person only gets you so far in the NFL. You need to produce on the field, and he can't do that. Many times this team just doesn't look ready. His mismanagement of timeouts, is absolutely worse than Bill O'Brien's. The timeout last week where it was a delay of game, and he should have took the penalty, which only backed him up 1 yard. Instead, he went to go ahead and took a timeout. As much as we like him, he's just in over his head. It's not his fault. This team is just a very bad football team. This is a bridge coach, guys. They try to build the culture of this football team, and that's why they bring in someone like David Culley, who's a culture guy. Like I said, everyone loved him. After the Texans won that first game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, when he had Mark Ingram, on the side and said, "This is why we brought you here. Look how you inspired these team." I loved it. But when it started losing, and the way they lost, and the mismanagement he did, I don't think David Culley is the future at all for the Houston Texans. Going on to the offense, it's flat out F. Flat out F. Starting with Tim Kelly, the quote-unquote offensive coordinator, who was the last known, who was the ghost of Bill O'Brien. We're going to run first down. We're going to run wide receiver screens. We're going to have no type of creativity. We're going to run our running backs up the gut every single time, and people know it. There's nothing special about this offense. The running game cannot get going. As much as I hyped up the signing of James Catman, the offensive line coach, the offensive line has been horrible. The move to Titus Howard from tackle to guard has been abysmal. We put so much faith in Charlie Heck. We haven't seen him. Marcus Cannon got injured. We just stunted the growth of Titus Howard, who we know could be a franchise right tackle for the Houston Texans. The running backs have all been a disappointment. Like I said, Mark Ingram is no longer on this team. Philip Lindsay hasn't done, anything. Neither has Burkhead. Scotty Phillips just got placed, I think, on the COVID list. Nothing special out of these running backs. These tight ends, nothing special besides Brevin Jordan's one great game, against the Rams where he had 4 catches for 56 yards and the touchdown. Jordan Akins definitely hasn't done anything. As much as we hyped up Farrell Brown's one great game, he hasn't done anything since. Kind of sounds like I'm just dogging on dogging on the Houston Texans offense. The wide receivers where you get something a little interesting, right? Brandon Cooks is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, a top 10 wide receiver. One of the most yards in one-on-one coverage, so he could run amazing routes. He gets that separation. He had a stupid Jaguars game. Has been there for Davis Mills, has been there for Tyrod Taylor. Brandon Cooks is someone I'm very excited about for the future of this team, actually. And also, Nico Collins. I want to see him more involved. He's shown he could do some things, but that's the only bright spot about these wide receivers. The quarterback position has. Look, I'm going to go ahead and give these guys a C, and here's why. None of these guys were supposed to start. Davis Mills does not get drafted to the Houston Texans if Deshaun Watson is still here. It's just simple as that. So for them to come in and Tyrod Taylor to come in as well and handle all this stuff, Tyrod Taylor, you had a great first 6 quarters and you had a horrible last 4. Davis Mills, as much as we, say you're trash, you suck, you're the third best rookie and you were drafted in the 3rd round. You don't have much expectations. On the defensive side of the ball, however, my lovely wife Abby, the grades start getting a little higher. Let me start with the ends. Jonathan Grenard, Jacob Martin. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a high C plus, low B minus. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a B. Jonathan Grenard has emerged as a pass rusher. He is a dog, a player. You have to be excited when he touches the football field. When he's on there, great things happen. And on the other side, I'm not gonna say I want to see more of Jacob Martin. He had a sack and a forced fumble last week. I want you to continue to see that. I think he's at 3 or 4 sacks. I'm not sure. Jonathan Grenard is on pace to be in the 10s, high 12s, high teens in terms of sacks. How much damage can him and Von Thibodeau do next year? That's going to be absolutely insane to see if we get that number 1 overall pick. The interior: Malik Collins, Ross Blacklock, Jaleel Johnson, Roy Lopez. Fantastic. This is the bright spot of the team for the Houston Texans. These guys are gonna be what we build around. The linebackers, I think have been respectable. I like Kirksey. I like Kruger Hill. Definitely like Zach Cunningham. However, I do think he is gone in the off season. Not too much, on him. I just want him to. I want him to live up to the contract that we gave him. We made him one of the highest paid linebackers in the NFL. Hasn't played like it. The corners, I think Desmond King, he's been solid, right? He's a veteran corner. Not good, not bad. He's okay. Terrence Mitchell, I think, has been a bright spot for this team. Vernon Hargreaves for his half of the year. Shout out to Vernon Hargreaves. I've been blasting this dude since he got here. Lonnie Johnson has been a disappointment, but Justin Reed looks like he could be a ball hawk safety. This defense as a whole and defensive coordinator Lovie Smith, I have to give this group as a whole is a high B. For them to continue to have this Houston Texans offense in games, if Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of this team and this defense is playing exactly how it is, then this team can win multiple games. But we live in this reality. The reality where Horny Boy Watson is not the quarterback for the Houston Texans. Let me know what you guys think about the off season. Let me guys know what you think about the not the off season, the first half of the season, and let me know what you guys think. Should I do these longer videos or not? As always, go Texans. You guys have a blessed day.